Welcome to Hope, BC. Smells like gold. Here we are finally down at the beach. You can see I've picked a location, lots of large cobblestones, boulders, the creek, the river. So currently, position-wise, I think we're gonna find something here. What I would like to do in this episode is show you a little method I kind of come up with for panning. So what I do is basically I have a bucket, a classifier, a smaller finishing pan, and then I have a larger steel pan. Aha! What's the steel pan for? Well, that's the little method I'm going to show you here. Alrighty then. So I guess that means step one is fill the bucket with water. Okay, I'm sorry. That was just a bit of a joke. We've all seen 1,000 videos about how to classify mud, rocks, put it into a bucket. So that's the first step. Basically, you get yourself a full bucket of cons. Okay, that's step one. Your bucket of... Okay, this is going to take a while. This is actually quite solid. I did not expect it to be as tough of a dig, which is a good sign. So I'm going to fill this bucket up, and then once I'm done that, we'll go along and I'll show you how I use that steel pan to make this entire system a little bit faster. Now this is a 16-inch steel pan. My finishing pan I'm using is only 14 inches and it's a black composite. So step one for the steel pan is, first off, don't be scared. Gold is 19 point something times heavier than water, and not much else is even close to the density of that. So the secret is to not worry too much that you're going to lose a little speck, because you're probably not going to lose a little speck. I'm just going to load this sucker. All right, so again, ergonomics is everything here. If you load this up, you get too big of a pan, you load it up too much, you're never gonna freaking be able to pan it out ergonomically. So that's why I went with the 16-inch steel pan. Now the steel pans don't have the same kind of ripples or riffles as the plastic, the green ones and the black ones. So this will actually allow the lighter material to slide out quite fast and rapidly. Now, the biggest thing to do here is make sure to stratify. Now that's with all of them, right? But the metal ones in particular are that way. And the reason I use a metal is because there's a lot of material in there, right? And a plastic one's gonna snap in half. Simple as that. So this, you get a nice huge pile, a really nice sturdy pan. Look at all the material. Yeah, that's already like 1/3. Well, maybe not 1/3. 1/4 of the material in that bucket in one pan. That's where the speed comes from. And now it's just same thing as normal, except for with a nice sturdy pan and a lot more material. You stratify it. Get some water, yeah. And that gold is just going to sink down because that's what it wants to do. That's science. Yeah, and some of it's going to fall out as you stratify, so it gets a little lighter right at the beginning. Not too close. You don't want it to fall out right away. You want to... But in a couple seconds, I'm already down to not much in the pan. And now I'm just going to keep going this way a little bit. And the secret here is to not even worry about it. Don't pan the whole pan out. See? I left some in there. Just leave it in there. That's where your gold is. So again, all we're gonna do is load this bucket up as much, or this pan up as much as we can. for the most part. You need a little bit of room so you don't lose it in the beginning. You need to be able to stratify it so that the gold goes down before you start dumping too much of the material out. So I like to leave a little bit there. All right. Okay, and then I'm going to do the whole thing. I'm going to put it all into the one pan, and then I'll show you what's next. All right. So you can see I've left all the heavier stuff at the bottom of the steel pan. I didn't try and get rid of it. I just kept it in the steel pan. So that's why I have this finishing pan here, this nice composite black one. I can see it really well. It sticks really well to the composite material. Take some water. I just transfer it into this one. Now, if there were any secrets here, the secret is ergonomics, right? So you use a steel pan where you need to use the steel pan. You need to use this composite pan where you need to use a composite. Nice and light. You can do it with one hand. It's not going to hurt you. So that's the real secret here. Keep it simple and keep moving. Keep moving those buckets of dirt. Okay, now just to let you know, I didn't test this spot at all, not a single pan, so we don't even know if there's actually gold in there. It was the technique I was looking for. So, out of a bucket of cons, in a 1/2-inch classifier, through a 1/2-inch classifier, okay, I see some black sand, so that's a good sign. Okay, I see a speck of gold too, that's a really good sign. Okay, just give it a little tap, alright. Now I'm just gonna slowly work at this thing, okay? I'm just going to slowly work at it, not hard. And a lot of times I do it in steps. I try and get most of the sand out first, and I'm not worried about the black sand yet, just the light colored sand. And try and get that all out first, for the most part. I can do a little wiggle, right? See, if you wiggle it, all those materials come out nicely, and the heavies, because there's no water, it doesn't come down. And we just do that again. And the tapping, okay, so the tapping is working more like one of those tables, those rocker tables and stuff. So it's going to move the gold to wherever you're tapping it. All right. Okay, now you slowly keep working it, very slowly. Now there's definitely gold in there. I just don't know how much. A random spot, right? And I just kept digging deeper. So that doesn't really usually mean more gold going deeper. It was more about trying to fill up a bucket of cons and showing you a method. However, this spot was not a very good spot. But you can see how it works. There's clearly gold there, probably visible to you right now. Now the thing to do is to take a single pan and see and compare it to the single pan worth, right? Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I was expecting a little more gold in that pan. But for an accurate assessment, let's take one pan classified and do that and see how much gold we can find at the bottom of this hole. This is using the same hole. So this is where we were digging all the dirt out of. So if we use the same hole and do one pan, either we get really lucky with this hole, or we're probably only going to get one or no flakes, is my guess. But we're going to find out shortly here. Or I shook it too hard and threw gold out all over the place. Which is possible, but probably not. Probably unlikely. Alright, so I'll slide that down a little bit dry just so it makes it easier to carry on. Gonna go to the river. Classify this out. Okay, one classified pan. Now let's see if it was a panning problem or if it's a spot problem. Like I suspected, we have three pieces of gold. 1, 2, and then a really small speck in that one pan. So that the bucket, yeah, that's about the same. That's about relatively the same for sure. So yeah, I mean, in the end, the entire bucket was only 3.5 metal pans to classify down to the smaller heavies, and then I transferred it into this pan and panned it out relatively quickly and ergonomically as well. So, and you end up with the gold. So I guess that really means is the only thing left to do today is to use this system that I've shown you to enjoy the rest of the day and collect some gold inside my snuffer. That's it. Have a good one.